So when we talk about the top 5 business loans for fair credit, no income proof, here is a review that you are really expecting. Number 5, we have Fundbox. Our score, 8.8 over 10. So when you're thinking about a business loan for no income proof and fair credit, Fundbox is a great candidate. I say they're a great lender. They're great for business lines of credit. They're great for business loans. And what we love is that they are really one of the few true no doc lenders out there, So they're not going to ask you a lot of things. If you don't have income proof, it's okay. You can have stated income. They will work with you, not a problem. They will ask you to have a minimum credit score of a 570. Okay, the loan term can go from 12 to 24 weeks. And what we love is that they will actually work with you to convert the business line into a business loan and vice versa. Okay, and the only thing that we don't like so here are the pros and cons for Fundbox. Pros: they are a true no doc business line of credit or business loan lender. You have approval within minutes, and they have low time and business requirements when it comes to so they're asking for 6 months. Sometimes they'll ask for 9 months. Okay, here are the cons. You must use eligible accounting software and bank accounts. So they want you to actually they want you to link your business account to your bank account to their system so they can check in real time your cash flows. Okay, and they do have some fees though, and they have a low maximum credit limits of 150,000, and that goes for the business loan also. Okay, so loan amounts or line of credit amount can go from 1,000 to 150,000, and terms again 12 to 24 weeks. Okay. One thing we love with Fundbox is that their customer service is really great. So they will work with you. I've said this before, in terms of flexibility, in terms of guiding you, in terms of explaining things to you. And there is a possibility, depending on the state you're applying from, to actually have a soft pull. So this is really good. We love that a lot. And one thing I also want to say here is that when we talk about business loan, fair credit, no income proof, Fundbox is great because they actually allow you to reapply. So if you have successfully borrowed and repaid whatever you borrowed, they allow you to they actually give you a discount as a repeat customer. So this is really great. Number 4, we have here Fora Financial. Our score, 9 over 10. By the way, welcome back to the show. Really is a pleasure to have you here. And so when you think about Fora Financial and you think about no income proof business loan for fair credit, Fora Financial is really great. They have a constellation of loans, of business loans, but they're really great when it comes to merchant cash advance. Okay, and so because every lender has their own specialty, and for Fora Financial, of course, they give they'll take care of you for other loans. But if you're looking for a merchant cash advance, this is really where their specialty. This is what their strength, their forte lies. Okay, here are the pros and cons for Fora Financial. So pros: they usually only require 3 months of credit card statements if you were to go with their merchant cash advance program, and they have low factor rate, and they have no minimum credit score and no income proof at all. They're not asking you to link up your bank account to their system. None of that. They want you to have a credit card statements. But if you choose another program, they might ask you other requirements. So this is important for you to check. Okay. And in terms of their cons, it can take days to fund. They do have every now and then a negative customer reviews, and some business may have to provide documents depending on your sector, depending on the field you're in. Okay, so loan amount here, you're looking at $5,000 all the way to $750,000. So we have $750,000. Okay, the APR varies, and minimum credit score 670. It goes from 600 to 670. Okay, loan terms 4 to 15 months. So you can see that the loan term, the repayment window is kind of small. It's kind of limited. Okay, so if you're looking for a loan with a long maturity, you're not going to have that with Fora Financial. Fora Financial, they give you the cash with no income proof, but they're asking you to repay the loan within a short period of time. Okay, in terms of requirements, sometimes they'll ask you for 12 months, at least 12 months of operational history. Okay, and no open bankruptcy. So if you have had issues with the bankruptcy law in the past, you're not going to qualify. So business loan, fair credit, no income proof, Fora Financial, $5,000 to $750,000. Our score, 9/10, number 4. Number 3, we have OnDeck. Our score, 9.1/10. And I just want to quickly remind you of today's topic. We're talking about the top 5 business loans, fair credit, no income proof. And OnDeck is really cool. And OnDeck is great for short-term business loans, for fair credit, no income proof. What we love is that OnDeck is an online lender that specializes in short-term loans and lines of credit for small businesses. It only requires most borrowers to submit 3 months of business bank statements, which you can download from your online bank account. Okay, they're not asking you to link your system to their system. They're not asking you for income proof. They just want to have bank statements. Again, it's really important because they just want to analyze your cash inflows and cash outflows, so they can have some visibility into your liquidity trends. Okay. Well, so here are the pros and cons when it comes to OnDeck as a business lender for fair credit, no income proof. So the pros, they only require 3 months of bank statements. You have same-day funding available. Okay, they have reduced fees for repeat borrowers. So this is kind of similar to what Fundbox does. The cons, you have a high starting APR of $29.99, 29.9%. You can choose between a prepayment penalty or higher rates. They do require some documents. Okay, so they're not asking you for income proof, but they do require some documents. In terms of loan amounts, they will grant you anything from $5,000 to $250,000. Okay, $5,000 to $250,000. The APR goes from $29.9 to $99.99. So this is kind of high. So this is a very high APR. So we love the fact that they are very generous in terms of giving you the cash you want. But boy, this rate is really high. Okay, and this is really a discouraging rate. But hey, listen, it is what it is. Minimum credit score 625. Loan term 3 to 24 months. So you have to see. You can see here that the repayment window is kind of short. Also, okay, you will see. And in terms of the requirements, they want 1 year in business. So if you want fair credit, no income proof business loan, if you want a business loan from OnDeck at those with those conditions, make sure that you have been in business for at least 1 year. Okay, this is important. They want you to have an active business checking account also. This is important. Okay, so OnDeck, our score 9.1/10. Number 2, we have National Funding, our score 9.5/10. So when you think about if you're looking for a business loan for fair credit, no income proof, National Funding is a good player. And National Funding has a constellation of business loans, but we love the fact that we love their equipment loans. Okay, and so they are an online lender. We actually we categorize them as an alternative lender. And so if you are looking for an equipment loan, they just ask you to have a quote from a vendor when you apply. Okay, and they only offer equipment financing up to $150,000. And so they're not fast, but they're very flexible. So with the National Funding, you have to compromise. So you compromise between speed and flexibility and generosity. So the one thing you need to do, let me just kind of go a little granular here. So here are the pros and cons. So National Funding, here are the pros. They only require vendor quotes for equipment loans. Okay, for other loans, they don't require anything. They have low rates compared to online lenders, and they have a simple application compared to other loans, specifically equipment loans. Okay, here are the cons. They can take 24 to 72 hours to get approved, which is not really ideal if you're looking for cash real fast. Okay, and they only finance up to $50,000, $150,000. So that's the minimum. That's the maximum. So if you are looking for a business loan for fair credit, no income proof above $150,000, you're not going to get it through a National Funding, and they do require some documents. Okay. Yes, they do not require income proof, but they do require some documents. And so the loan amount here, you're looking at 5,000 to half a million. And the APR is not stated. Minimum credit score 600, and the loan term 4 to 24 months. So this is, and they want you to be in business at least for 6 months and make at least $250,000 in annual sales if you are able to justify your income. If you're not, that's fine too. Okay. In other words, they're kind of open. That goes back to the flexibility I spoke about. So if you can actually prove your income, fine. If not, that's fine too. Okay. Now, other loan types have additional requirements depending on your geography, depending on your sector. So things that you need to know about. And something I also want to say here is that National Funding is constantly improving their business loan offer. So we love that a lot. Number one, the best of the best, we have Lendio. Our score, 9.8 over 10. So when you think about Lendio, it's a great business loan for fair credit, no income proof. Now, Lendio, by the way, I want to quickly just to remind you of today's topic. We're having a conversation about the top 5 business loans for fair credit, no income proof. Okay. Lendio is not a direct lender. Lendio is not a lender. So if you apply through Lendio, you're not going to get a loan, a business loan from Lendio. Lendio is a marketplace. Very important to remember. Lendio is a marketplace that allows you to actually connect to multiple business lenders who will ultimately give you a business loan for fair credit, no income proof. As a matter of fact, they have 75 to 80 business lenders on the platform. So what will happen here is that you can actually even pre-qualify for a range of business loans and business lines of credit with just a few clicks, and you can compare the terms you might qualify for with different no paperwork providers. That's what we love. We love Lendio a lot. But one thing I need to say here is that please make sure that you reach out to the direct lender, the lender you are interested in working with, to make sure that lender does not require any paperwork before you continue your application. Okay, you continue with your application. So here are the pros and cons of Lendio. Pros: they partner with over 75 lenders. You have a wide constellation of different types of financing programs, and you have options for bad credit or no income proof. Here are the cons. Lendio is not a direct lender, and some lenders may require paperwork. So since you have a diversity of lenders, some lenders might ask you stuff that you don't want to provide or that you are not expecting. So things that you need to know, okay? Things you need to know. This is really important. And the loan amounts here with Lendio, of course, we have a flexibility. We have diversity. Think about it. You have up to 75 lenders, so you do have the monetary bandwidth here. Okay, you have lenders that have a stronger balance sheet, a larger balance sheet, whereas some other lenders will have a smaller balance sheet. So in terms of loan amounts, you're looking at 500 all the way to 5 million. So you can see that the delta here, really huge delta. Okay, and the starting APR is 6%, minimum credit score 570 to 600, and the loan term can go from 1 to 25 years. Okay, and so if you want to qualify, you got to operate a business in US or Canada, and you got to have a business bank account. Okay, so personal credit score, I just said it, 570, 550 to 600. So overall, Lendio is a great choice. Lendio is a great opportunity. Lendio, our score, 9.8 over 10. If you have made it so far, I want to bless you with the bonus here. And in our research, we have come across Upstart. And Upstart is a great player that I want to share with you today. Upstart used to be big when it comes to personal loans, and they have actually been shifted. They're still doing personal loans, but they're doing now business loans also. And so Upstart, our score, 8.5 over 10. And so Upstart may be the closest to a true no-doc lender. It offers small business loans from $5,000 to $200,000 with an instant credit decision and same-day funding for many applicants. Okay, no documentation whatsoever is required when applying, and after the credit decision, you may only need to submit a few documents to receive fundings, but many borrowers are not required to submit anything else to receive funding. But Upstart is not available in all states, so you may be required to personally back the loan, and there is a 4 to 6% origination fee. If you want to escape the PG, there are ways to do this. We have actually explained this on other shows, so if you're interested, just let us know. We'll just explain everything to you. Matter of fact, we actually came up with a video that explains the Upstart business loan application process from A to Z. So if you are, just let us know in the comment section. We'll certainly link up this. We'll bring this video up so you can go watch it. Okay, so here are the pros and cons of Upstart. Pros: no documentation required for a credit decision. You have instant funding available. Most customers reviews are positive, and credit score 550 all the way to 750. Okay, here are the cons. Upstart as a business loan for fair credit, no income proof, is not available in Nevada, New Hampshire, Maryland, West Virginia, and Iowa. Okay, those states, they're still working through the regulatory banking processes to make sure they are available. And Upstart is not suitable for startups. They do charge an origination fee that goes from 4% to 6%. So something to really think about. In terms of loan amount, I just said it goes from $5,000 to $200,000. Okay. Credit score is really low, 550. Loan term 1 and 2 years. So 1 and 2 years. We have a shorter repayment window, so things you have to think about. And in terms of the business structure you need to have, you cannot be a sole proprietorship. You have to be a business. So you got to be registered as an LLC, LP, S corp, or C corp. Very important. Before we close to this conversation, let me give you an overview. When we talk about business loans for fair credit, no income proof, there are a few things you need to really know so that you pick the right lender, okay? And you need to understand how no income proof business lenders work. Now, so a no income proof business loan for fair credit doesn't mean you won't fill out any forms. It just means you may not be required to complete paper forms or fax documents about profitability to your lender. Okay, so the lender is not really interested in knowing a lot more about your business in terms of profitability. And in some cases, you can get around the document requirements completely by connecting with your business's other online accounts. So this is particularly common with e-commerce seller financing or other types of collateralized lending. Okay, and this is especially true if you're borrowing from a platform like PayPal or Amazon or Shopify, for example. But that's for e-commerce. What I want to see here is that some lenders are low doc rather than no doc. So they're not asking you anything, but they're not asking you your income proof, but they will ask you other stuff. Okay, so they will require you to submit an online application and PDFs of a few key documents. You might also need to give them access to certain business accounts for verification. So this is really important. So now the question is, how do you find the best business lender for fair credit and no income proof? There are a few questions you want to ask yourself to ascertain to sort of finalize, to sort of crystallize the lender, the business lender that you want. Okay, you got to ask yourself, is this the right loan for what I'm trying to accomplish? Ask yourself that, because you need to find the right loan type for your needs. Okay, what exactly do you need to finance? So this is actually will guide your decision making. Very important. And can this lender give me all the funding I need? Remember that some lenders have limitations in terms of loan amounts. For example, you have lend you that goes all the way to $5 million. You have national funding that stops at 150,000. So there are limits. So you got to be comfortable with that. Are the rates and fees competitive? Okay, and remember, you can often save more with the lender that offers you a low APR. That makes sense. That's pure logic. Okay, and how long will it take to get your money so think about the funding speed also. And most important, do you meet the eligibility requirements? So you probably don't want to waste your time applying with lenders you don't qualify for. So this is part of the preliminary planning that you have to really engage in to make sure that you have the right lender. Let me give you a few pro tips before we close to this conversation. So when we talk about, let's say, business loans for fair credit, no income proof, you have to understand you're not going to get a business loan from a bank. Okay, so as you can see, Fundbox, Fora Financial, OnDeck, National Funding, Lendio, all those players, they are online lenders or alternative lenders. Okay, and it's important, you have to make a decision, because when you go to a traditional bank, let's say you go to a bank or you go to a credit union, the rates there are lower, the APR is lower, the repayment window is more flexible, they're more generous. They'll give you 5 years. In some cases, they'll give you 7 years. Okay, we've seen business loans where you're given 7 years. The only problem is when you say no income proof, this is where the problem starts. A bank is not going to give you a business loan with no income proof, unless, and this is a big unless you have a strong balance sheet. I mean, a strong set of financial projections. You have been with the bank for a long time, so they do have your business relationship, they do have your personal relationship, so they can actually sort of guess your liquidity trends through your movements in your bank accounts, and you also have a business plan. But banks generally are risk averse, okay, and so are credit unions, so they're not going to give you money without relying on some kind of income proof. Okay, and so this is something for you to know. So as you are making your decision, just know that no income proof business loans they do rarely exist with banks and credit unions. So now they are so basically that means you only have to go with online lenders and alternative lenders. Let me give you some alternatives to no income proof business providers, business loan providers. Okay, so if you are still thinking about other players that you are interested in, then here they are. So you have ROK Financial. So that's a ROK Financial. You have Big Think Capital, another big player for you to consider. You have SmartBase SBA loans. So SmartBase does more than SBA loans, but they actually are stronger when it comes to U.S. Small Business Administration loans. And then we have LendingTree. LendingTree also can provide you with some kind of information about business loans. Okay, now those business loans, some of them are not true no income proof business loans, so you might need to provide some type of revenue confirmation. But they are very generous when it comes to loan amounts. They're very generous when it comes to repayment windows. So we just thought it might be worth including them here. Before I do a recap, let me just give you the approach. I really want to explain to you how we go about analyzing the business loans we review on this show. And so here is a video that actually talks about how we analyze, how we categorize, how we list business loans for no income proof on this show. Check this out. I want to quickly review and recap today's conversation. So number one, we have Lendio 9.8 over 10. Number two, we have National Funding 9.5 over 10. Number three, we have OnDeck 9.1 over 10. Number four, we have Fora Financial 9 over 10. Number five, we have Fundbox 8.8 over 10. And then in the bonus category, we have Upstart 8.5 over 10. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. I'll see you next time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.